Hey everybody, I'm Jordan Rudess here at Guitar Center, and I have the pleasure of being in front of the Roli Seaboard RISE 49. It's a great new instrument that has totally blown the roof off of what it means to be a keyboard player. Now you're a seaboard player, and you can actually play between the notes and express yourself musically as you've never been able to do so before. So with this sound that I started out playing, it's a great way to start the concept because the seaboard allows you to do things like pitch bend in different directions. Every note that you play can be completely independent. I'm going to get into the whole 5 dimensions of touch concept, which is what the seaboard's all about. But for this sound, we're really using 2 dimensions, just to show the concept. So I'm using the strike, which is hitting the key and getting different velocities. But I'm also using pitch bend, and pitch bend is very important. So you'll notice I can now vibrato the notes. So the seaboard is based on a keyboard type form factor. All the distances, like from C to G, the octaves, it's all the same as a traditional keyboard, but it feels different. For one thing, you're not actually playing keys that are going down. It's a surface that you basically have to make contact with to get notes out of. And once you play a note, then you can press into it and get other timbral things to happen. Again, so with this sound, pretty straight ahead. I'm tapping the note, different velocities or strike levels, and then I'm able to pitch bend. And what's really cool is unlike any other keyboard instrument, and unlike any instrument out there except for a couple that I can think of, like a lap steel, you could actually take a couple of notes or a few notes and bend them all, let's say, from chord to chord. That's like something that's, to me, is amazing to have the ability to do that on a keyboard. So usually when a keyboard player plays something and moves a pitch wheel or a joystick, everything is going to move the same way. And that's very limited. With this, you could have 2 notes that can be going entirely different ways. So that's the beginning of this concept. To take it a step further, you can look at a sound like this one, which is a sound by a company called Sample Modeling. It's a sax sound, and this adds some dimensions that I was talking about. This has 4 different dimensions. With this sound, you tap it, and you get this sax tone. But if you press in now, check out what happens. There's all this extra tone that happens as well. And you can also really feel the pressing in of the key. Unlike a traditional kind of synthesizer keyboard where you press the key and you're at the bottom and you're just kind of pressing in mysteriously, something's happening. With this, you get sound and then you press in and you can have this organic kind of feeling. So you can press in, you can add vibrato. And it responds really quickly to your fingers too. So there's no problem in really articulating. The other thing that's added to this sound is the ability to what we call slide, which is the vertical direction of the key. So what's really, really cool is you can press a key, right? Then you can push away from you and get this kind of growl. Now that sliding can be assigned to any parameter in a synthesizer. It's really up to the synthesizer. This motion is just sending out a controller. So between the strike, the pressure, the pitch change, and the sliding, there's a lot that can happen. And so there's a ribbon above the keys and there's a ribbon below the keys. That's important to realize too. So at any point when you're articulating on the keyboard, you can slide off the keys and go on to. And as a little tip to you future seaboard players or the guys who have it out there, is that when I'm sliding, let's say, to a black note, like from A to E flat, I'll generally go on the ribbon that's above the key so I can feel the gentle kind of shape of the black keys, which actually have the white lines in them in the seaboard case. But you can really just, I can do it while I'm looking at you. So there's a whole tactile kind of thing that's going on here as well, which is really cool. So with the sounds that are actually shipped with the Seaboard and Equator software, there's a whole lot of amazing sonic flexibility. And I'll show you a couple things like that very quickly. This one is really kind of wacky, but it's cool and it gets the point across. With this one, if you strike the key very lightly, you get that. But if you press into the key, you get this kind of crazy sound. And if I move towards you, then on the slide, I get that. A lot of sonic possibility and control. Also, there's an area here where we have an XY pad and 3 sliders. The sliders can control the pitch rounding, the slide depth, and also the aftertouch depth, the pressure. So these are very important. And if you just touch the little power button quickly, then they turn into 3 continuous control sliders, which affect all the sounds. You'll find in Equator, which is again the software that comes with the Seaboard, you'll find that all the sliders will do interesting things to the sound. So you just have to play around with that. So the Roli Seaboard is very expressive. It opens up the door to musicians to really be able to express music in an entirely new way. For me as a keyboardist, it's like this massive evolution of what's possible with keyboard technology. So in front of me now are 2 different Seaboard RISEs. I have the 49 key one and I have the 25 key one. They're both basically the same thing. So depending on your needs, you can make your decision which one you need. The 25 I very often just throw inside my suitcase or inside my bag, very easy to take around. The 49 is also light. I actually just traveled here out to California with it in my hand, and it wasn't a big deal, which is really cool. Some things you should know about it. For one, they operate off Bluetooth. They have a battery in them. So one of the possibilities is you can play with them no wires at all, which is totally awesome. I love that. Roli produces a free app. It's called Noise. It's really, really cool. I have it actually over here. And I love it because without any wires at all, I can turn on my Seaboard. I can connect through Bluetooth to the app, and I can play. And it's amazing that it is free. So you can see that it doesn't have anything attached to it, and I am doing all the kind of sliding around, all the different dimensions of touch, which is really cool. I can go in, I can switch sounds as well, which is nice. I can do it from the patch changing button up top. There's octave switches as well. And what's nice is you can actually play. So you can play on the app itself. It'll allow that. And it will respond to the different dimensions of touch as well. And on an iPhone 6s, you can even press into it, which is extremely cool. The other thing I want to say is that Seaboards are sending out Midi. So right out of the box, it runs perfectly with the Equator software. All your multi-channel polyphonic expression will be recognized beautifully. And there are different packages that other companies make that will work with the Seaboard and all that kind of information. Everything will work, but some things right now need a little bit more setup. Roli makes a piece of software called Polythrough, which enables instruments that aren't set up for this multi-channel expression to be set up pretty easily. I use Contact a lot, and I've been just taking different instances of Contact and putting my sounds on different MIDI channels, which allows me to do like that kind of cool lap steel stuff. So at any rate, it's a great time to get into Seaboard playing. It's an evolution of the art of keyboard playing as we know it, and I'm very excited to be involved with it, and I'm very excited to be here at Guitar Center telling you all about it. So definitely drop into your nearest Guitar Center or go to guitarcenter.com and check out the Roli experience. The instruments will be set up really nicely for you to play, and I look forward to having all of you go and check them out, enjoy, and I'll see you on the road.